Welcome, YCT members. I'm excited to have you all engaged in our very first Youth Catalyst Team Town Hall. With everything going on regarding COVID-19, I think it is important for us to share our thoughts in the rapidly changing pandemic. Thank you all again for joining us. So let's jump right into it. My name is Sky again. I use him, his pronouns, and I'm based in New York. And what I want to speak about, what I'm really excited to talk about is, some of the recommendations that will come from this discussion.
Hi, everybody. Glad you could join us. My name is Liam. I'm based here in Philadelphia, and my pronouns are he, him.
Awesome. Thank you. My name is Marielle. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm in Spokane, Washington.
My name is Andre, he, him, his pronoun, and I'm located in Philadelphia.
Hello, everyone. This is Dash. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. I use she, her pronouns.
We're going to go into this recommendation around what would you recommend to a young person to help cope with this new normal? And, what would that recommendation be? Because I think, a lot of people have been asking me, oh, Sky, how are you dealing with this? Like, hey, what's going on? Or, hey, what's happening? And my recommendation is to stay awake. And when I say that, I mean figuratively. If you notice, the polling stations are still open. They're still happening. You know what I mean? And for that, even in this moment, where it's such a risk for us to go outside, clearly we can still vote. So for me, I kind of see where our priorities lie. And I say the priorities in the government of how, certain things are still moving behind the virus. Certain things are still happening. And I want to say that young people need to stay awake. It's really easy to just stay relaxed in this moment because we're at home. If you notice, the ads that we've been watching on our computers and TV are social conditioning us to get accustomed to this new idea of being at home and how it feels all of a sudden so great to work from home. You know what I mean? And this idea of together apart. You know what I mean? Which sounds really contradictory, but in this moment sounds beautiful. I would just urge you to actually stay connected with what's happening in your community and stay connected with what's happening with your friends and your family. Because in this moment, we're gonna need all of us. And I'm not gonna say together apart, I'm just gonna say together, period, because that's how we've always been. So that's my recommendation for that.
One recommendation I would have for a young person to cope with this new normal during this time, I think is really important, is to stay busy, because social isolation can really cause a lot of mental health strains and the loss of connection with relationships. And I think it's really important for us as young people to just stay busy, whatever means you can. Hopefully something safe, but whatever you can, just stay busy.
I think kind of building off of what Liam just said again, I think that my recommendation would be in the busyness that we are hopefully being able to create for ourselves and have things to keep us getting through the days and everything, really, really taking time and making a space for self-care and figuring out what self-care you need personally. And so for me, that has been I had to figure out I need to be moving and exercising every day to sleep good at night and be able to focus on schoolwork or something like that. So figuring out what self-care you need, taking that time and making space for yourself to do that.
One recommendation I would have for young people during these times is to give yourself a sense of routine. It's very hard for me to keep a consistent sleep cycle because I'm always staying up late because there's really no downside to it. But I would say when I am awake and when I am getting good time, what helps me definitely having some sort of physical activity, having something to do, whether it's just like walking around, or like if you're in a space where you can take walks, if that's safest for you, like definitely do that. Um, but just having something to do with your time, I think, is very, very crucial, because even if it's not something specifically like profound or important, just having something that you are able to actually give yourself, to take your mind like off of like just being trapped away, whether that's just like making origami or like watching YouTube videos, like getting in your essential reads, or like daily like intake of information, like whatever it is, like to keep yourself doing stuff. Because I think the intrusive thoughts is what's really been like a big issue for people. They're not really doing anything. So it's like, what do you do to take yourself out of a moment where you're feeling, sort of like you're not useful, you're not making yourself productive. So I think the counter activity to that is just giving yourself something to do. And in these times, like, definitely don't be too pressed about making every moment like, the most insanely excessively productive thing. But just having something to do, whether it's just like calling friends, checking in with people, maybe drafting out an idea you had, whatever it is, or just like keep yourself engaged throughout the day.
Hey, so honestly, like what I would say to everyone, every young person or anybody watching this right now, honestly, is to take this time to do some self-care and just reflect on like your goals, your life, and just look back into like, just go down memory lane, just go down memory lane and look at how far you came, like, from where you were at to now, and what you're going to do to move forward.
Thank you, Dash, for answering that question around that recommendation, and identifying self-care as something that we need to be mindful of, as we, try to navigate this really difficult time.
The Youth Catalyst team is a national initiative for young leaders who use their knowledge, skills, and personal understanding of systems and services to advance the youth services field. Youth Collaboratory is proud to work with and support this dynamic group of young leaders.